One of the hottest areas on the web has been personal knowledge management, or PKM. There are many capable tools out there, but Notion has been one of the most popular. Starting with this series of videos, I will describe what Notion is, what workflows it is best suited for, and I will begin by teaching you some of the basics of Notion so you can begin creating your own pages. In future videos of this series, I will go beyond the basics, teaching you how to create ever more complex workflows. You will learn how to create customized project management dashboards that would allow you to manage your own tasks and goals, to managing projects that span multiple team members that could be all over the world. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sam and I do tech reviews and tutorials to help you become a better digital citizen. So what is Notion? I think the best way to describe what Notion is to imagine taking Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Access, and just smashing them all together into one simple tool. And what Notion did in the process of merging all those tools together was to simplify and remove a lot of the complexity that goes along with using Excel or Access, and giving you simple commands to do complex operations. The complexity is still there if you need it, and you can do some very powerful workflows with formulas and rollups, but many users will not need to use complex formulas in order to get a lot of use out of Notion. So here's a quick description of some of the things you can create with Notion. One thing is you can create documents. As you can see here, this is a public document that was released by Ali Abdaal, and it's just one of his book notes. And as you can see here, this is just a normal document that he created describing one of his books. And you can see how beautiful this looks and how much formatting you can actually do with just a simple document. And if all you wanted to do, there is a ton of value just using this alone. You can create databases, which are Access or SQL-like tables where you can put any information that you want in there to track, and they can be referenced in any document. And we'll see more about databases later, but they are very powerful and one of the best things in Notion. You can actually create public websites. The Ali Abdaal page that I just showed you earlier, the document, is actually a public page that he released. You can go to the website and easily see it from anywhere. You can create knowledge bases. You can have all your standard operating procedures or any other reference material you want for somebody to look at, and you can collect that all into one space and reference it anywhere. And one of the best features of Notion is the ability to create project management dashboards. This allows you to pull all of the information that you want together, from whether it's databases, plain text documents, images, or any other information that's stored in Notion, and you can actually filter out and view exactly the information you need for what you're working on at that moment. This is what makes it such a powerful tool for businesses to use. Some of the other benefits of using Notion is it has a built-in version control system, and you can see every change that was ever made and who made it. That's very useful if you're running a business. Another great benefit of using Notion is you can use it on any platform. As long as you have a web browser, you can use it. There are desktop applications for Windows and Mac, and there's also apps for the phones and your tablet as well. Another awesome benefit is you can use templates. Think of templates as customized baselines for any new document you want to create. So if you're constantly creating a document and you have a lot of boilerplate, you can actually have a template that has all that boilerplate filled in. And in many cases, you can have fields in those templates where it pre-fills certain information, like a date, for example. Not only can you have templates for documents, you can have templates for your whole system. So if you have a whole project management system, you can actually create a template that has all the databases, all your documentation, all your standard operating procedures, everything together in one template that you can just open up and start using right away. In essence, think of a template as an application and Notion as the operating system that just runs that template. If all you really want to do is just create beautiful documents, then Notion has you covered. It excels at that. But as you have may surmised, Notion's best feature is its ability to manage data and put all that data together into one view that makes particular sense for you at that moment. So for example, if you're a school teacher, you can collect all of the data for your classes, and you can have a view that shows you all the information for first grade or second grade, or you can have a different view using the same data that shows you all the students that take a math class or take history class, and manage the data that way. Or you want to create a recipe database where you have all your recipes categorized, and you want to create a view where you want to see all your recipes by cuisine one day. The next day you may want to see all your recipes based on a particular ingredient. Notion is perfect for that. You can create multiple views that make sense for you. There are many people out there that want to use Notion as a complete knowledge management system. They want to take everything, every clipping, every web page, everything, and just dump it into Notion and use it to manage it. Notion is really not meant for that. It's going to suffer the same thing that Evernote is suffering right now, where in the end it just becomes an attic full of junk. I'm a firm believer of using the best tool for the job, and Notion is really not built for that. You can do it, but it would require a lot of micromanaging to actually make it work. And I think in the end, the purpose of a tool is to make your life easier, not to spend a lot of time trying to manage it. There are other tools that are better suited for clippings and things of that nature, like Roam and Obsidian. And in the future, I will be making video series on those apps to show you how they are best suited for that kind of knowledge. So consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to get notified when those videos are out. Alright, so now let's get to the meat of the video, showing you how to get started using Notion. Okay, I'm going to make the assumption that you've already created a Notion account and you're in the application already. And when you first launch it for the very first time, this is what you will see. There are some temporary default documents that they create here, so you can go through these if you'd like to see them. But you can ignore them or delete them. They're just there for your reference. Now, the way you go about creating a brand new page is you could either add a page here or click the new page below. There are also many key commands that you could use, but we'll get to those later, and there are reference documents for that. So we'll go ahead and add a page here, and I will call this Hello Notion. Now this title that you saw above here is similar to a file name that you would see in Microsoft Word, for example. Now there are some other options here. We'll ignore these for now, and we'll get to them as we move along in the series. For now, you just type in the title and hit enter, and you're into the main body of the document. Now, Notion considers everything a block. So if I type in, just to show you an example, let's say hello world, and hit enter, this hello world is a block. And now you can think of a block, and the way Notion thinks of a block is as a Lego block. You can have different types of Lego blocks, and you can actually put them together to either create a tower, or you could create a vehicle, or anything else in this world, as you've probably already seen. So Notion considers blocks the same way. There are many different workflows that are possible with blocks, and we'll get to those as we go along through the series. Now, anything can be a block. This line is a block. If we put a picture, that would be a block. If I do a table, that would be a block as well. Everything is considered a block in Notion. And just to get you going, some of the basic things you can do with a block here is if you click on these 6 dots, you can actually change it into various things. If you want to make this into a bulleted list, you can just do that. Now you have a bulleted list, and if you hit enter, it will automatically create another item in this list. You call this car, house, and on and on. And if you hit enter again, you can escape out. Another thing you notice here, there's the slash command. Notion has many pre-built blocks that you can use. If you click the slash, you can see you have a text block, a new page block where you can actually embed another page, just like the one we created here. You can embed another page, an actual to-do list, which has, as you can see, these little check boxes. And as you check it off, it just strikes a line through it, different headings, and there's other ways to do these basic heading things. Have tables, you can have an actual person, so as you're working with a team, you can actually mention a person and that person would get notified. So there is a long list here, and it will just get confusing to tell you everything about this right now, and we'll get to that as we go along. So one more thing I will show you is what a database actually is, and we'll create one and show you what that block is. There are several ways to create a table, and I will show you the quickest, which is with the slash command. Type table, and in this case we will do a table inline. A table inline will embed the table within this document. A table full page will create the whole page would be a table, and you would use that if you want to create a database of all your information collected together. We'll get to that as we go along, but for now we'll just do table inline. And this is in essence a database. This is another block, and as you can see here, you see the 6 dots. You can actually click on the 6 dots and drag it around, and you can move it wherever you'd like. So let's say you want to put this table above everything else. You can create as many rows, as many columns as you wish, and as many rows, of course. And you can modify what type of column this is, which would be what kind of data you want to store. This is just a quick preview. I will go through tables more in depth later on. But for example, this is just a tag. You can do multi-select, checkboxes. You can actually have URLs, emails. This is where you can create formulas to do certain things, just basic text, anything. The neat thing with these databases that Notion creates. So let me just type something here. House. Oops. If I can type. House. This row here is a document in its own right. If I do open here, this is an actual document. Just like the document we just created, it's like you're embedding another Word document within that table space. And this is what is so powerful. So you can create a row of data and you can have anything you want in here for that one row. Consider that this one row here is a customer sale. You can actually open this up, and in here you could have any kind of information you want. You can actually have another table. You could show, for this one sale, you could show all the customer information and any other transaction that this customer made. It is very powerful to be able to embed a document within a database row. And we'll get to this as we go along, but this is where the power comes in. And just to piggyback on one of the samples that Notion provides, let's say we go to the class notes page. As you can see, there is a database here that this person created, and you can have what kind of information you want. In this case, they have, did I review this document? Was this from a study group? What the class, which you can actually organize by class, the date, and you can actually have discussion notes. So within this one thing, you can actually put all your class notes into this one item. So you can keep everything organized. And as you can see here, they have more properties here, like what kind of type, which we just saw here. All these show up here as well. So I know this has been kind of a whirlwind of what Notion is, and you still may be a little bit confused. The whole point was just to give you a little bit of a flavor of what Notion is and what you can do with it. So in the next video of this series, I will show you how to format a document. You can actually use Markdown to do much of your formatting, like headings and bold, italic, etc. I will show you some of the basic slash commands that you would need to know just to get started. And I will also show you where you can get some of the keyboard shortcuts and a listing of those to make your life a little bit easier, because it's easier to use the keyboard than actually taking your hand off and trying to use a mouse. In the meantime, here's another video I think you would find interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one in the series.